Good morning everyone. In this lecture, we are going to study about nanomaterials. So nanomaterials are very small in size and this makes them popular among the other materials. So nanoscience and nanotechnology are the study of and application of extremely small things, so which can be used across all the other science fields including engineering. See, nanoscience is nothing but nanoscience and nanotechnology are both are the study of nanomaterials. So these nanomaterials are very small, so extremely small things. So whose size is nothing but the billionth of a meter. Okay. So whenever you consider a meter, so 1 meter has 10 power 9 nanometers. That means so 1 nanometer value is 10 power minus 9 meters. So 1 billionth of a meter is nothing but 1 nanometer. So extremely small materials are nothing but nanomaterials. So it is impossible to see that materials with the help of our normal eye. So we require a specialized microscope to view such nanomaterials. So whenever we study the materials at their very finest form, so those that study is nothing but nanoscience or nanotechnology. In fact, all of our daily routines are filled up with only small amounts only. That is nothing but atoms and molecules. So atoms are the finest particles present in the any material. So whenever we study such small things, so here these the properties of those things will vary according to their sizes. So here, whenever the scale of any materials is reduced, so their properties will change. So the change in properties make them very reactive. So that we are going to study in this nanomaterials. So materials that possess at least one or usually two dimensions with the particles in size between 1 to 100 nanometer are known as nanomaterials. So that means we know that all the materials have some dimensions. That means they have length, breadth and height if they are three-dimensional. So if they are two-dimensional, they have only length and breadth. So if they are one-dimensional, they have only length. So whenever any two dimensions of the particles is in the range between 1 to 100 nanometer, so those are known as nanomaterials. So these possess any at least two dimensions with the size from 1 to 100 nanometer. So the examples of nanomaterials are fullerenes, graphene flakes and single wall carbon nanotubes. So most of these nanomaterials contain carbon as main component in them. So coming to the evaluation of science and technology and what will happen to nanomaterials and how the technology will get developed with the help of nanomaterials. So can be shown here in this graph. So in before 1990, okay, so 1990s, so when there were no availability of nanomaterials, so people used to build materials with the help of build materials and things with the help of their counterparts are bulk materials in the range of millimeters and micrometers. So all the fields such as biotechnology, cluster assembly, chemistry, physics, so microelectronics, so all these were using either millimeters or micrometers as their dimensions and used to build things with the help of that technologies. But after the discovery of nanomaterials in 19th century, okay, so all the fields, so including science fields and that means medical fields, everything, okay, so physics, chemistry, biology, material science, engineering, medicine, so everywhere So nanomaterials have been drastically are in use. So nowadays we are using many things that make use of nanomaterials. We are using nanomaterials in cosmetics, textile industries, in automobile industries. Okay, so in chemical field for improving the chemical properties of the materials. Okay, so in biology, in the medicine for drug supply. Okay, so in the diagnosis of diseases, everywhere nanomaterials are in use. So in the future also the usage of nanomaterials will increase. So in the field of electronics, so nanomaterials, especially the discovery of graphene, so was boon for electronic industry. So conductive the electronic conduction properties have been drastically improved with the discovery of nanomaterials. So based on the dimensions, okay, so whether one dimension possesses the nanomaterial size or two dimensions or three dimensions. So the classification has been done. So according to Siegel, so the scientist, according to him, nanostructural materials are classified as four types. So those are zero-dimensional nanostructures, one-dimensional nanostructures, two-dimensional nanostructures, and three-dimensional nanostructures. So zero-dimensional nanostructures means here the dimensions are not particular. For example, if you take spheres and circles, so you cannot find their dimensions properly. So such kind of structures are usually known as zero-dimensional nanostructures. For example, spheres and clusters. So one-dimensional nanostructures will have only length. Okay, so the length is also in nanometric scale. That means 1 to 100 nanometers. So examples are nanofibers, wires, and rods. So two-dimensional nanostructures whose dimensions are length and breadth, so are in the range of nanoscale. So we are able to develop films, plates, coatings, and networks with the help of two-dimensional nanostructures. And three-dimensional nanostructures, so where the nano materials size is in 1 to 100 nanometer in length, width, and breadth. So the examples are polycrystals. So you can see the classification here, the spheres and clusters. So these are zero-dimensional nanomaterials or nanostructures, and here rods and fibers and wires. So these are one-dimensional nanomaterials, and coatings, networks. So all these are two-dimensional. So this is the polycrystal, so which has three dimensions, and many materials. Okay, many nanomaterials can be accommodated in a single thing. Okay, so this makes them very popular because of their high surface area. So the main advantages of nanomaterials are their reduced size and increased large surface area and their quantum effects. So these make them popular among the other materials. So whenever the size or dimension of the materials is continuously reduced from large size to a small size, that means from meter, centimeter, millimeter to a very small size like nanometer, so the properties of the materials will remain same at the beginning, but after, so whenever the size drops below 100 nanometer, so here dramatic changes will continue to occur. So the properties of materials will completely different from their bulk quantity. That means, for example, in bulk quantities, in centimeter or millimeter size, the particles behave differently, but in nanometer range, so these will behave completely different. For example, in the nanometer scale, so the insulators will become conductors and conductors may become insulators. So ferromagnetic materials will become supermagnetic or paramagnetic. So like that. So the variation of properties of these nanomaterials will be decided by the size of their dimensions. Okay, so in nanocrystals, the electronic energy levels are not continuous but are discrete. So that means in the bulk level, that means in centimeter level, in meter level, so they have free motion of electrons. The electrons are allowed to move from one place to another freely. But whenever it is confined, whenever the size is reduced to nanometer size, so there is no such free movement allowed for nanomaterials. So that is why the energy levels are not continuous, but it is discrete value. So only finite amount of energy levels only available in case of materials. So this is one of the main advantage of nanomaterials. So due to decrement in the size, so the properties of all these materials are going to change. So which make them popular among the other materials. So at the nanometer size, the quantum effects try to dominate. Okay, so quantum effects are nothing but the electron energy levels that are changed at the lowest sizes. So as we have discussed previously, so at the bulk level in centimeter or millimeter level, so the these electrons are allowed to move freely. But now whenever their size is reduced to nanometer size, so there is no such freedom. So the energy levels are concentrated into only discrete levels. So that is why the quantum confinement of the nanomaterials is known as quantum dots. Okay, so due to this small size and quantum effects, so the nanomaterials are more reactive than their counterparts, such as micro or milli or centimeter scales. So materials, when they are reduced to nanoscale, can suddenly show very different properties. So as we have discussed, whenever the size of the material has been reduced to nanometer scale range, that means 1 billionth of a meter, so these will possess completely different properties. So for instance, for example, we can see here, so if the materials are opaque, so they will become transparent whenever they are reduced to nanometer size. That means opaque means they don't allow light to pass through them. But whenever those materials are reduced to nanometer scale, so these will become transparent. They allow light to pass through them. For example, copper. So copper is an opaque substance generally when their dimensions are in the range of centimeter. So but whenever it is it is reduced to nanometer size. Okay, so whenever its size dimensions are reduced to nanometer level, so suddenly it will behave like a transparent medium. And solids turn into liquids at room temperature. So generally gold is a solid that we know. At room temperature, gold so is nothing but the solid. But whenever its dimensions are reduced at room temperature itself, it will turn into liquid. So whenever it is made into powder, okay, so then at the room temperature itself, powder is nothing but the reduction of the size of this gold. So whenever gold is made into powder, so whenever its size is reduced to nanometer level, so it will turn into liquid. And the inert materials become catalysts. So inert materials means those do not involve in any reactions. But whenever those materials dimensions are reduced to nanometer scale, so these will become catalysts, means they will encourage the chemical reactions. So for example, platinum doesn't react with another materials, so at normal level, okay, so but whenever these dimensions of platinum has been reduced to nanometer scale, so it will become catalyst and it will encourage the chemical reactions. and stable material turn combustible. That means, so stable materials like aluminum will not burn at normal level, but whenever its size is reduced to nanometer scale, so then they will burn. So this kind of property will be exhibited by the aluminum whenever it is reduced to nanometer size. So insulators will become conductors. That means insulators means they don't allow electricity to pass through them. But whenever their size has been reduced to nanometer level, nanometer scale, so these will behave like conductors, semiconductors actually. So silicon is normally insulator, but it will become semiconductor whenever its dimensions are reduced to nano scale. So these are different examples. So where the properties of the materials are changed whenever they are reduced to nanometer scale. So another important advantage of nanomaterials is nothing but surface area. So the surface area is nothing but the accessible or detectable area of solid surface per unit mass of the material. That means if you consider surface area of any material, so the amount of particles can be accommodated within that surface area is generally decided by the amount of surface area. So if you can accommodate large number of particles in unit surface area, then it has large surface area. Otherwise, if it is not possible, then it is less amount of surface area. So in case of nanomaterials, nanomaterials will possess relatively very larger surface area. That means we can accommodate many number of particles within small amount of surface area. So for example, if we consider 1 centimeter size of cube, okay, so whose dimensions are in 1 centimeter, so in breadth, length and height. Consider So if you consider its surface area 1 into 1 square 1 square centimeter, it is the general surface area of that cube. Okay, but whenever we are reduced that centimeter size to nanometer level, so we are going to accommodate large number of particles in that available square surface area. Okay, so that means the centimeter is going to be decreased into nanometer level. So then whenever we are going to reduce the dimensions, so many of such particles can be accommodated within the specified or available space. So this is how in the less amount of available space we are going to accommodate more number of particles. So which is the one of the main advantages of nanomaterials. So in the unit surface area, many of the particles can be accommodated, so which is given by the larger surface area. So this can make materials more chemically reactive and after their strength or electrical properties. That means, so whenever we have a less amount of space, when we are going to place many particles inside of it, so because we have more number of particles available now, so the force of attraction between or among all these materials will increase. So that makes them chemically very highly reactive and it will alter their strength and as well as their electrical properties. So next coming to the different properties of nanomaterials. So as we have discussed earlier, nanomaterials will possess completely different properties whenever we compare them with their bulk particles. So few of the properties of nanomaterials are physical or mechanical properties, electrical properties, magnetic properties, chemical properties, and optical properties. So these are all different properties of nanomaterials. So coming to the physical or mechanical properties, so physical properties are nothing but the size. So as we know that nanomaterials have very less size. Okay, So due to that less amount of size, they have a large surface area and high reactivity. So here coming to the some of the mechanical properties. So forces of attractions are very strong at nanoscale. So since due to the availability of large amount of surface area, so we are going to accommodate large number of particles in the available less space. So that is why the force of attraction among nanomaterials is very larger compared to the centimeter or meter scales. So the mechanical properties like hardness, elasticity, adhesion and friction also improve whenever the scale is reduced to nano scale. So hardness of the material will increase. So the properties, okay, the materials will possess very much strength compared to the other scales. So elasticity, the process of stretching capability will increase whenever the materials are reduced to nano level. And adhesion. So adhesion is the property of binding with another material. So whenever the materials are reduced to nano size, so these are able to bind very strongly with another materials. So this kind of adhesion will also improve whenever the materials are reduced to nano size. Similarly, friction. So frictional force is nothing but the opposition to the applied force. So this is going to be decreased in case of nanomaterials. So that is why lubrication of materials will improve at nanoscale. So lubrication is nothing but the smoothness offered by the materials. So whenever the materials are reduced to nanoscale, so they will offer smoothness such that the friction is going to be decreased. Another quality is nothing but ductility is going to be high at high temperatures. When the materials are reduced to nano level, so ductility is a property of getting long amounts of wires from the available material. Okay, so with the help of ductility, we are capable of making wires. Okay, so this property is also high in case of nanomaterials whenever the temperature is increased. So coming to the electrical or electronic properties, so the electrical conductivity of electrons is going to be altered whenever the materials are reduced to nanoscale. So here the localized electrons are less, the free electrons will not move in all directions as in case of bulk materials. So in bulk materials like centimeter or millimeter scales, okay, so the conduction of electrons is delocalized. That means electrons can move freely in all directions. But it is not possible in case of nano materials because due to quantum confinement, okay, due to the restriction imposed on the electrons, so they will not allow to move freely in all directions. So that is why quantum effect is dominated in case of nanomaterials. So all the energy levels are discrete. Okay, they possess only discrete amounts of energy, but not continuous energy. And in case of zero-dimensional nanomaterials only, the electrons can move freely, but in the given three-dimensional space only. So, but remaining one-dimensional, two-dimensional, zero-dimensional, three-dimensional. So those electrons will not allow to move freely as they wish. So they are confined to only particular energy levels. Okay. So that energy levels are discrete in case of nanomaterials. And due to this electron confinement, the energy bands are replaced by discrete energy states only. So which make the conducting materials to behave like either semiconductors or insulators. So due to this, okay, because of there is no freedom for electrons to move freely, so all the energy bands that we can see in conductors, insulators and semiconductors are replaced by only discrete energy states. So only finite amount of energy is possible. So this makes them this makes that nanomaterials to behave like either semiconductors or insulators. So this is how the electrical conductivity is changed whenever the particles are reduced to nanoscales. So another properties are magnetic properties. So whenever the nanomaterials, the materials are reduced to nanoscale, so whenever the dimensions are reduced, the magnetism will increase. Okay, so the size of the magnetic nanoparticles also influences the value of magnetization. That means at lower levels, okay, at the less amount of grain size, okay, below 20 nanometer, so the magnetization level, okay, the magnetization is increased. So you can observe this here. So this is the particle diameter in nanometers, and this is the remnant magnetization. So that means magnetization is whenever we keep materials in the external field, so they are able to behave like magnets. So whenever these materials are reduced to nano level, okay, so whose dimensions are below 20 nanometer, so they will possess high magnetism. So this is the rate of the magnetism acquired by the materials in case of nano materials. But whenever the size is increased from nanometer to millimeter, micrometer and centimeter, so the magnetization acquired by them will be reduced. Okay, so this is how the magnetic properties are altered in case of nano materials. Next, coming to the chemical properties, so how they are going to involve in chemical reactions. So based on surface area to volume effect, so nanoscale materials will have increased total surface area that we have discussed already. That means due to their large amount of surface area, many particles can be accommodated. So due to this number of atoms available on the surface, so we will have increased catalytic activity of those large number of surface atoms. Since we have many atoms are available within the given surface area, so those will react very heavily. So they will encourage the chemical reactions very heavily. So they will behave as catalyst and they encourage the chemical reactions. So different surface catalytic properties are by the change in shape, size and composition. That means, so whenever we are going to change the shape and the dimensions and the material composition with which the nanomaterials are made, so the catalytic properties will differ for one nanomaterial to another nanomaterial. Okay. For example, graphene will have different properties. Carbon nanotubes will have different properties. Fullerenes will have different properties, chemical properties. Okay. So like that. So based on the shape and the size and the composition of the materials, so we will be able to obtain different chemical reactions with the help of nanomaterials. So hence nanoscale catalysts can increase the rate, selectivity and efficiency of various chemical reactions. So just as we have discussed now, so based on the composition and size, they will behave as a catalyst and they can increase the chemical reactivity rate and the efficiency of chemical reactions. Okay, so by encouraging the chemical reactions to finish quicker than the bulk materials. So here, if you look at the particle size versus the rate of chemical reactions, so whenever particle diameter is very less, okay, so the rate of chemical reaction will be high. So whenever the dimension is increased, okay, so whenever there is change in nanometer size to the another level, the reaction rate is going to be dropped exponentially. So this is how the chemical properties of nanomaterials will alter the chemical reactions. So based on this, we are able to design nanomaterials that can increase the rate of chemical reactions, or else